Well, today we had decent volatility. Last 3 or 4 days, we've had pretty decent volatility, even with the VIX being at like a 13. Still seeing like, 40, 50, 100 point moves almost. Took a couple trades today, both losers. One I felt great about, and then one was just, I mismanaged it. And we'll talk about why I mismanaged it in the video. I think I had 2 opportunities to trade it better than I did, and that's just part of it. It's a business expense to take a losing trade like that and to learn from it. And the goal being to not replicate that mistake, right? To change and be better. So that's where I'm at today. If you didn't know, these streams happen on my main channel, Trades by Matt. So go subscribe over there, subscribe on this channel so you can watch the daily recaps. And last but not least, this is done on my 20, 50K Apex funded accounts. If you want to get started on your Apex funded journey, you can use code TBM for 80% off all of the accounts that you want on any size account. So let's get into the recap. Yo, good morning. How are we doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday, July 16th. What's up, everybody? All right, happy day. Hopefully yesterday was good for you. Today, news-wise, we had 7:30 retail sales. We got housing market index at 9 o'clock. Business inventories at 9 as well. Tomorrow we get housing stats. Doubles claims Thursday. Kind of a mellow week, honestly. So today we got yesterday's value area low sitting at 560, value area high sitting at 670. We got VWAP and yesterday's pointing control at 620, magical 20s as well. Retracing the news down to 570 doesn't seem terrible without looking at the daily. Daily looks like we kind of got slapped a little bit off the highs. Interesting spot. Got overnight highs here though. So, I mean, us pushing the overnight highs in theory just makes me think higher, right? At least into yesterday's value area high. Delta and buyers look pretty good right now. So I'm inclined to think higher. I'm inclined to think higher until we get slapped, but it's too early. I need to chug the Solani. It's too early in the day for me to really try and decide all of those things. I'm really just calling out levels right now that I think are interesting. One interesting thing being retracing this wick. Another being popping overnight highs over yesterday's value area high for some continuation. 620s VWAP point of control from yesterday. All of that's a pretty interesting spot as well. I don't know how we're going to react between all of those levels, but that's what time is for, right? We're going to buy TBM merch. The drop is happening soon-ish. I want a TBM hat. Okay. That makes me, that actually leads me to a question. What would y'all want to see on a hat? So right now I have 2 shirts and a golf shirt. 2 t-shirts and a golf shirt that are locked in, ready to go. Okay. The last thing that we're working on for the shop drop is a hat, but I'm trying to figure out what type of hat to do. The shirts all have a play or a homage to Nasdaq Cowboy. And I don't really know if I want the hat to have that as well, to be honest. I'm at a loss for sayings or designs to put on the hat. So if you have any ideas, now would be the time to let me know. A blob dad hat. A good gains hat. Yeah, that's actually not terrible. That's actually not bad at all. I've been talking about the good gains hat for forever. Why did I forget about that? More leverage on the hat. Yeah, that's a pretty good one also. Tilted. That's good. I like that one too. All right, it's lit. It's lit. It's lit. It's lit. Tuesday, July 16th. What's the best way to watch a fly fishing tournament? Live stream. I feel like it had some opportunity. It's hard to deliver that correctly, and it kind of requires a little too much thought, in my opinion. Not a fan. I'm gonna give that one a 3 out of 10. Wow. 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I just don't know how I feel about that one. Interesting spot here. We just got green lighted to trade. Hanging out at VWAP. I really liked the last 3 days of initial balance trades, to be perfectly honest. And I am tempted to wait for it again. Little bit of pick me up here around VWAP. Yesterday's point of control, that 20s level we talked about pre-market. It's an interesting spot to retest VWAP here, but I don't like it enough to take it, so I won't be taking it yet. Some more continued slaps. Sellers are looking pretty decent. We're looking like we're gonna keep running it a little bit. This is a 40-ish point move the last 5 minutes. Not terrible. Rotating off of the 20s and VWAP into the 80s. Yesterday's close. I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2 last night, chat. I was streaming it in Discord. I've not played a game. I've not played a story mode game in, I'm gonna say like since middle school. Like the Halo campaign or something. Everything else has always been like an FPS, like Warzone or League. And I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. So far, it's fun. I haven't played a shooter game in a long time, and my aim was atrocious. However, I have not personally died yet, so that's a win. And it's pretty fun. I like the concept for sure. Okay, there we go. This is what we were just talking about. There's the rotation all the way through the news candle. A lot of times you see it retrace through the news, which is what we just did. So that's good. Next up, value area low, overnight lows. Got news in a minute and a half, and we got liquidity lower into the overnight lows currently. I'm retesting 600. Looks pretty interesting. You know, like we close 80s, like close 81, retest 600, slap 60s. That would be sick. I think that'd be pretty clean, honestly. How do you like it? I played for what, 2 hours? I just had the very first train robbery. I know nothing about the storyline, so I don't know if there's more train robberies, but I had a train robbery right off the start. I just finished that. I kind of like that it gives me the shot. Like we had like some prisoners or whatever, and I was given the opportunity to either question them or pull out my gun. You know, I like those kind of deals where you can kind of pick which way you want to go about things. Stream games with chat and corner. I thought about pulling it up on the YouTube stream yesterday. Not even kidding. I ended up just streaming it on Discord, but I did think about it. If we get the kick up to 600, I will take it. I'm gonna front run it just a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna get the full kick up or not. All right, this might not be working. Looks like we're gonna sweep the new lows. That's too bad. Kick up would have been nice. Rotation to the overnight lows now looks pretty good. I mean, this candle's closing heavy. It looks like we get a little kick up just from the little micro divergence currently happening, but it's hard for me to want to buy a candle that's doing that. I don't really want to get in short yet either. I'd rather, like, if I'm gonna play a momentum play like this, I'd rather trade IB or wait for a pull up into like 560s, overnight lows, 560s, yesterday's close, even something higher. No, RF, I haven't seen any. I've seen 1 minute dojis that have been playing pretty well, but not any like true hammers that have been tradable, I should say. Like this one right now. This is like potentially a cheap trade. Again, it's a little scary to take, but it looks like a cheap trade to do something like this. Because you have Delta trying to kick up a little bit. You're risking 7 points, which is a cheap trade, into the top of the range, 10 points higher, right? Like all of this lines up and looks really good. It's just a scary trade to take, typically, because you don't really know what's going to happen, right? Like we've been getting slapped like crazy. So new sweep of the lows is not unheard of, but Delta's going a little bit more flat, slowing down, potentially a little bit up, but there's a 7 point stop out, you know what I mean? Like, and we might still kick it here. I don't know. I'm fine with taking that 7 point trade. After this doji, right? The kicker is that like I'm not gonna leave this trade open and not have it close at the prior low. There's the 500 test. Again, might bounce off 500. I'd rather take a quick stop out on a quick try for 5 to 7 points. It's makeable, backable. This has been a nice melt to the downside with basically no pullbacks. Ever since yesterday's close, just straight down from the 80. So basically 100 points of straight down right now, which is good. So now the question is, do we rotate off of the overnight lows, value area low, overnight lows, or do we actually continue the press? Here's the overnight lows. I want to see what happens here, and volume. This volume I think is very interesting. Ideally looking for like another 15 points, and we got a wick test that just fired off also, which I'd be somewhat open to taking. Got some buyers here. I'm still open to taking this trade into volume, but looks like I'm not going to get filled by how many points? By 1 point, 55, and I had it at 56. Right into target. Okay, sick. You know what? Those are always annoying, but it's nice to see it play. It's nice to see it play out, even though it doesn't fill out. The idea was accurate. I just was a point off. So it's nice to see that, you know. It's always a bummer, but nice to see. Now we got the wick test. If we continue to pull into it. Okay. I'm in on the wick. Not really getting much reaction yet. Gonna give it a second, but don't want to give it too much more, to be honest. And this should really be looking more like this. Realistically, the goal is actually that, but I'm not gonna give it $600 or 20, 30 points. Kind of a dirty slap. It's gonna be a full stop out, huh? Full stop out. Nasty slap. I'm trying to think of how I could trade that better. I think the retest of the after the wick is not the play. Because that was a 25-point yoink. The other thing is, what's VIX at right now? VIX 13? Dude, 13 and we're getting this? I think that's kind of BS. It's a 25-point slap and an immediate 20-point run up. That's always tough. I'm just not willing to open it up more than that. I mean, the crazy part is that the true wick test plays. I would have needed to give it an extra 5 points. Oh, I don't know. That's tough too. Got volume down here. Yeah, giving it the extra 5 points keeps you in the trade. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I think the real thing here is that if I'm going to take that wick test and I take it from red to green, I need to move it up. Even if it's, 5 points in the money? 7 points in the money, whatever that was. Yeah, 7 or 8. I got to move my stop break even there. And I think that's the business expense, if you will.